Welcome everybody to my Thirsty Thursdays. So today I have Joe Sailing on here. Is that how you say your last name, Sailing?
Yep. Hey,
Okay.
you got it right.
I didn't know if there was any fancy way to pronounce that.
No, it's like you're either going for a sail and you're going to buy a house, or you're on the ocean and you're going sailing.
Right. Yep. So today he's going to show us how to do a squeeze page in Lofty, not KB Core, Lofty. So the biggest difference is in KB Core, you make a squeeze page and then you attach it to a landing page. So in Lofty, it's just one easy, super single step. So we're taking a step away, one less thing for you to do. But like I said, only 30 minutes. So Joe, you take over.
Hey, everybody. My name is Joe Sailing. I've been a realtor for about 10 years, playing with Lofty for about 2 years. And I'll tell you, I came from KV Core. KV Core is great because it's a free option, but I liked the ability to customize our Lofty pages, make them a little bit better, and for EXP agents, really low cost to come in. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you what my pages look like and kind of how to build them out slowly. If you have questions at the end, feel free to ask me. I'll open up the hood and take you step by step. But let me open the page first. So what we're going to do is we are going to start, and I am showing now this page correct. Can I get a thumbs up from people just so I know they're able to see? Perfect. We're going to start from this page here, a single level home, and kind of how I go about creating these pages from start to finish. So this one here, and the great thing is this is even though it's a squeeze page, Lofty considers it a landing page. So I could have it do just about anything. This has different rules than what your normal Lofty site is. So, for instance, if you had it where on your normal Lofty site, you're not forcing them to register. Well, this is a landing page. This is something where you're having people come from somewhere else, and maybe you want higher intention. Maybe you want higher intention where as soon as they click on a property, they're forced to register. Maybe you want to change those words that the forced registration says. I've taken out on my landing pages, they can't sign in with Google or Facebook, just so I'm getting more realistic, accurate information. So it can go something just as simple as this, and then, or you could have it look something like this. So I think this is a lot of what we're seeing in the KV Core squeeze pages is we're seeing a map, we're seeing some properties, and that's about it. You're using some kind of landing page to show people what the information is rather than having the actual page tell you. So I am going to take you now slowly of how to go from this to something like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to come straight into Lofty. And if we're in Lofty, up top, you've got your taskbar, and you're going to go to marketing. From marketing on the left-hand side, we're going to go to landing pages. And here's one of the greatest things I'll tell you. Once you create one page, you can easily duplicate it, take out a lot of those steps, and continue to make more and more. Because one of the things that I love using technology to help us out, and Chat GPT is a great way to give you ideas of what kind of squeeze pages should I create. Do you want to create, like here is just a whole bunch of single level homes. Maybe you want to create luxury homes. Maybe you want to create homes on land. Maybe you want to create a list of new construction homes. ChatGPT can help you build out all of those and get a little bit more information than you would get if you were to just make the squeeze page directly on KV Core. So all we're going to do is we are going to, I always like starting with add a new landing page. So at the very top of landing pages, add a new. And to create that one where we have the map, all I'm going to do is it is, and there's a whole bunch of, I like the multi-property with map page. So we're just going to select this template. And we are going to call this, I'm just going to make Beaverton single level homes. The other thing you can do is you can say, where is this group coming, or where is the lead source of these people coming from? So, it could be that this is a Google PPC page. It could be a Facebook page. It could be even an open house. You can have your lead source be quite a few other things. So I am just going to pay this as a Facebook group, maybe. Facebook group. Okay. Listing source. I want all listings, and we're going to customize which kind of homes that we are going to have on this. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. So we're going to come straight in here after you said, hey, now, right now, it's showing all of the homes available. So you're saying 10,000 plus properties, and it's just exactly like that first page I showed you. Doesn't give you a lot of information. And so we're going to simply uh, change the information of what the users are seeing. If you have this set up right, what you have is you've got your preset filters. Now, you can't type in it, but you got that little pencil. The pencil is what allows you to edit every field. So if we just go into preset filter, it's then going to say a lot. Now, I could draw. So, I mean, I could even say, hey, I want to do a listing of homes in a certain school district if that was really popular. You could go really, really small and showing people just homes in certain school districts. But here, I'm going to keep it broad. So I am just going to go to the town of Beaverton. And the one thing I'll tell you is sometimes Lofty might not have all of the features that you want mapped into the search field. You can easily fix that by going to your MLS and taking like a screenshot of the items that you want brought in and sending that to Lofty's support. They can update that into your system. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to worry about price. I want to leave that wide open, but I want to make it to single level homes. And with mine, I only want the actives. Some people will say, hey, I want to show them more. I don't believe there's any wrong way to do real estate. Well, there's no right way to do real estate. There's definitely some wrong ways to do it. I don't
I
think
was gonna
there's
say
really.
there's some wrong ways.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I don't think it's right or wrong to include pending listings, but I think it adds a lot of questions that you just don't need. So I'm going to put active and bumpables. Bumpables just mean they're contingent. Um, and then what I could do is I think, no, purchase type is not the right one I want. There is another one where it actually says, oh, property type. You can say, hey, I just want to show homes. I want to show condos. I want to show townhouses. I want to show mobile homes or manufactured homes. So we're just going to leave this still wide open because I'm just making this single level homes. So with mine, I have stories here, and I'm going to put this story as a one level max. So we're going to say, okay, we're down to 80 properties. For me, hey, that's a good spot to start at is I'm just going to be showing them 80 different homes that they can scroll at. Now, at this point, it's not allowing you to kind of move through it and see the houses, but you're getting a preview of what it's going to look like. So now that I have my map put in, for me, I also want to say what it is. And in Lofty, I would say you learn how to hack a lot of the system. You figure out, hey, what works well? That page that I had, what I actually used was I used a little content block. Some of these, they have information, some of them they don't. I just want like a header that I can put up here. I am going to change this. Now, like I said, I went to Chat GPT to get some of this. And if we said, hey, squeeze page for single level homes in Tigard, I used the whoops, I actually created first just 10 ideas for squeeze pages. So that way you can come up with some ideas. Taggart homes under 500K. But, and I can put this into the video chat at the end. So you will have this one directly as what I was doing. But act as if you're a real estate expert marketer and create the best 10 lead generating squeeze pages. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll tell you, make sure to follow fair housing because they might say this is great for families. And you're like, ooh, I don't want to put that in. So make sure to cover some of your stuff. But if we go down, gave me 10, but it didn't give me a single level home. So I just came back and I told it, and to under the same process above, create a squeeze page for single level homes and make sure to follow fair housing rules for realtors. So here it's going to give me some of the ideas. It's going to tell me what the description of the page is, and then it's also going to give me headlines. So we are just going to, I'm just going to copy that. I think it's this one. Yeah. So here, I'm going to delete out the pictures. At this point, I just want to make it where they can see it. So I'm deleting out in the banner style. That's what this one is. I am going to say, find your perfect level, single level home in Tigard, and then we're going to change that because this is not Tigard. This is Beaverton. And then we are going to change the subheading. Now, right now, this block is still way too big because it is meant to have a picture tied into it. So I'm just going to, first of all, say make it center justified. I don't think that really matters, but it's what I like. Um, and then we are going to change the block size, which is this. And we're just going to change this to, I think it's 200. Yeah, 200 just squeezes it nice and up. And then there is a, hold on, there is a second one. Shoot, I am not able to see. There's a second item down here. Oh, that's why. Let's go full screen. Maybe. Ooh, okay. Well, I think we're going to be okay on this one. So we have single level homes, the image here. The other thing you can do is if you do not want anyone to be able to change any of that information, you can change the zoom level. So let's say I make it zoom to 13. I like that. There is a button somewhere in here that makes it where they cannot, show search bar. So if I turn this off, they don't have the ability to change what this page is. Now, you might want to give them that option, but I don't like to. So now that right here, basically I've got the page built the way I want it to, but we're not done yet because now we need to kind of change all of the settings of this page. So we're going to go straight to settings, Beaverton single level homes. Perfect. URL, Beaverton single level homes. That's good. Now you can also change some of the other information. So I can change what the header and footer looks like. So I like with simple header and footer. It just takes that grayness out. It doesn't allow them. So if we go back, it doesn't allow them to get full access to the site. It keeps them on what I want them to see. So if they click that button there, it'll take them directly back to the home screen. And then they can do whatever they want. What we're also going to do is we're going to say where's the lead source. It knew originally that's coming from Facebook. It's knowing that these are buyers. So if you're making a seller lead page, you might want to change what that buyer type. Now, here's where it changed a little bit. Registration, trigger registration on. You can have never request it so they can see all the houses. Only if it's the current page. So the second someone lands on this, the registration window is going to pop up. Or listing page details. Listing page details, they'll be able to scroll through all the houses, but as soon as they click on however many houses, right now it's set to time. I don't really like time. I like the number of homes. And I like to leave it at one because once again, I want these people who I probably don't know to decide, do I want to work with Joe and get more information, or do I want to just bounce away because this isn't what I want? And I'm fine if they bounce away. I'd rather not waste my time. Allow for pop-up to be closed prior to registration. If you did that, that would mean that they can close the pop-up window and look at houses again. Once again, I don't want to allow them to do that. And realistically, on this one, I want this to be real information. If they're clicking on Google or Facebook, the information that they give me could be outdated. So then we go to lead ownership. Now, this is a personal page because it's either personal or company. Now, if you're on a team and you're on a team instance, that company, all of your team might be able to see your leads. So, once again, I recommend just making sure to keep that as personal. I'm not exactly sure on the lead details as hiding it, what that does. I don't worry about that on my side. You can, if you are on a team, do lead routing. We don't want to do that. Assign to an agent. Nope, it's just going to be me. But here's the thing that could be important for later on. I can tag it, and then I don't know if we've talked about smart plans, but I could create a smart plan that, or a drip campaign, depending on how you view it. I could make a smart plan that the second they logged on this, maybe I send them a message, a text message that says, "Hey, thanks so much for getting me this list of single level homes. I'll be in touch with you shortly. What community is your favorite community?" So, what I'm going to do here, so this is uh, Beaverton single level homes. And I'm just going to put it as, even though they're landing pages or squeeze pages, I still think of them as landing pages. So I'm going to put that tag so that way I will know later on, oh, hey, this person came from the squeeze page or landing page. And it says, hey, do you want to add a tag? Yep. So now everyone who comes to this page and logs in is going to have the tag of Beaverton single level home landing page. You can also put in a welcome note. Welcome emails are good because it'll tell the user their username and password. Um, I don't really like it for anything else but that, but I do think that that is a good piece of information. And then this meta page title, that's what makes this either say Homes for Sale, Joe Sailing, EXP, or if I change it, it could say single level homes for sale in Beaverton, Oregon. So I am going to single level homes in Beaverton. Okay. And then the meta page description is going to be, oh, they gave me something. Oh, come on. Okay, discover the convenience of single level homes in Tiger. Oops, let's change that. Now, most likely people are not going to see this because they would have had to have been searching on the internet to see these words. But if somehow Google finds this page and wants to talk about me, oh, I want them to have the right information. And then you can either turn your chatbot on or off. I'm going to leave the chatbot on. So then we come to the pop-up content. So this is where I was saying the pop-up pages can be different. This is like the standard, create your free account. Now, I am not a fan of that. I think that's a little too plain and boring. So, and this here is the other page I was talking about. If I click on this, that should have popped up. Why? Oh, whoops. This is, hold on. Oh, I know what the problem is. This is the wrong page. I'm going to come back here really quick just to get my the words I used on it. And you should be giving me. Sorry about this.
Never does what you want it to do when you want it to do it.
Right. Well, and some of it, I think some of it is if I go into my incognito. Wonder if that will. I think that's going to. Okay, so it brings it up. We're going to say yes, accept all cookies. And now we get to see what the pop-up really. Oh, grr, I knew I had that different. I want to say oh, please tell me I did not just. And sometimes you run into this where the information just does not come through exactly the way I want. Okay. And I'm getting low on time, so I just want to. Okay, here we go. Get your personalized listing straight to your inbox. I think that is going to be much more powerful than create your free account. So I'm just going to do that, and then we're just going to copy that and that. Oh, no, that is the same. Okay. And you can change this to check out all of now. And that's kind of what it'll see at that bottom of that box. Thanks. I'll get back to you shortly. You can also put Google Analytics and tracking. So especially if you're retargeting, this is a great way to get information back. So I'm simply going to publish this page, close it down. And then up top, we have the ability to just kind of view the site. It shows exactly what it looks like. So now Beaverton single level homes, showing me all those. If I wanted to shrink this window, I would just change the pixels and shorten it down. If I click on this one, perfect. Get your personalized listing straight to your inbox. And then check out all the homes now. So this here is just a quick way of how to create a squeeze page. Now I want to take you back to the marketing side. You can also create featured listing pages. So like when I do open houses, I make a featured listing pages. You can have lead registration forms. So this would be the whole thing of if you were trying to create a landing page that went to a squeeze page, you could have this lead registration form. It checks them in and then it takes you to another page. So there is a lot that this can do. I only have 7 minutes left, so I want to keep this kind of short. And I realistically, so much of it is just, hey, what ideas can you get? I'm
Hey,
going to
Joe,
put
quick
this into
question.
the chat. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you were in there and you did that from Chat GPT, but in Lofty itself, it has that SEO analysis and keyword relevance already built into that page on that site when you did it. Do you ever use that?
No. So, okay. So now
You're
if I'm
there, right there.
here, yeah. No, I mean that's definitely not a bad thing to. That's not a bad first a great practice to do. Um, yeah, no, I like that one. Nope, I don't, but that'd be something I'd highly recommend.
Because I mean, like if you're doing the
What
Chat
other question?
GPT, you got your SEO and you have all that, and then you drop that in there. Now you can see what your SEO relevance is based on what you've built to get your score.
That's genius. Yep. Nope, nope. I love that idea. Does anyone else have any other questions? I can go back and show something as well too.
I think this is fantastic. I kind of knew how to do it, but I didn't know the depth of on how to do it. And like I said, all of January, I want to do, January full of Joe with all Lofty. Because I
Well,
really
and so see this one here. So this is my downsizing community. This is all Southwest Portland. I'm saying, hey, I want to search by Washington County. I want to look at single family homes. I only want to show active homes. I only want to show up to 3 bedrooms, up to 2,100 square feet on a quarter of an acre, single level homes under 800,000 square feet. Now, what I could do is I could go in, create a smart plan that creates this property alert and sends it directly to them too. And it's all looking at what these tags are. Well, you have to tell the smart plan you want the smart plan to be activating based off of something. So, with this one here, I might say that directly assigned to downsizing tag with Washington County. And then it's going to know, hey, I am looking to start a smart plan for people that have downsizing as a tag and Washington County. And maybe I send them a report on what it takes to downsize. Maybe I have a downsizing guide, which I do have, and that you can send out to people. Lofty, like I said, is very, very powerful. The last thing I really want to show you is Lofty's landing or home pages are completely customizable. And I mean, this is really where I could do a month because it is all about hacking their system. So I have this here. Like I said, I use pictures and I rip the pictures out and then I put the words. These here, these are content blocks that, hey, you want to look for Portland and other cities? Perfect. Click on this. Single family homes, click on this. Condos, then I have a quick search link. Now, one thing I'll show you just to give you some quick ideas. In my single family homes, it's going to take me to another page, search all single family homes. I have a quick search that allows me to click city to city, and then it's going to show me that's not a single family home. If we go to Tigard, search all, single family, not single level. It's going to show all single family homes in Tigard, but yet I've created another page that keeps this same thing. So this is where I duplicate pages over and over again. And then if you have Lofty, let's go back here. The biggest thing I'll tell you is organization is huge. So if you just look at like what my back end of my website looks like, if I go to, I'm looking at those single family homes. I have created pages for each one of these. I name what they are, and they're all organized and they're in a folder. I go to single level homes. Well, same thing. Portland, Beaverton, and I can edit each one. These were all templated. I put this stuff in here saying, hey, this is just Tigard, but I only want it to be single level homes. God, there's only 6 single level homes right now. Tualatin, same thing. I just duplicate it. And heck, I didn't even rename that part. I left that pretty blank. And then I put different links telling it which one. So these are all called quick search links. I can definitely talk about this at another time, but you can do so much with your landing or with your site that Lofty never kind of intended. So search all single new construction homes. I think this one, it's looking for homes that were built in 2023 or newer.
Joe, I'm gonna
Wow. Okay.
definitely look at your site a lot more from Saturday. I got your site and I started looking. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be duplicating this one. What does Leon say? R&D duplicate. I'm gonna be with your site.
The biggest thing I'll tell you with all of this is template. Figure out what you want to happen first, because on some of my stuff, I was talking to another agent. We were kind of collabing on it, and she was like, I think it'd be good if you were to center justify. I had created 40 pages, and it was like, I have to, whoops, I have to go back in and do 40 pages to redo. Yeah, that's how I felt. And so creating templates of exactly how you want your pages to look is more important at first than just creating over and over again, because you look at my site and I even have Portland neighborhoods. So you can create neighborhoods and I start to push them all out. And then you go in, you're like, oh, hey, I don't want that neighborhood. I want to look at the homes in Arnold Creek. Okay. What about Southeast Portland? Sure. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. But like I've said, the great thing is this makes you have authority for an area. You just need to do better than me, and you need to market it. Push it out. Follow Carrie's instructions on how to talk about yourself and let people know what you can offer them. All of this stuff, hey, come on my site for free. I don't hide stuff. The only stuff I would hide are paid ads that are generating huge business, and you are in Portland, Oregon.
Right. Does
Any
anyone
other
have
questions?
other questions?
So when you first built that earlier page, I ran downsizing ads as well.
Yeah.
You turned off so you built a page where they can't search. They came in and what they were looking at was what you had on there. They couldn't change the features or
Yeah.
search criteria.
Yeah. And the reason I did that was if they wanted to change it, all they have to do is just reach out to me. It's gonna infuriate some people. They're gonna be like, wait a second. Now, I'll also tell you from here, let me come right back to the actual page. Beaverton single level homes. If they click up here, they can go straight to my site. They get full site access. It's not like I'm completely locking them out.
And then they can
But
register and do all their own individual customized search, but they're registered.
exactly. Yeah, and that's
Oh, you
where the
squeezed them
smart
where you
plan.
wanted them to go.
Yep. And I make it where, once again, they can only see this one house. That's it. Because if I allow them to see 3 houses or whatnot, they're like, oh, thank you for that information. And then they bounce off to Redfin. And especially if I'm throwing ad dollars in it through Google PPC or Facebook lead or Facebook forms, I want their info.
Right.
Now, I will say the one thing that does frustrate me some is if they log in through Facebook and they get those forms, it will not automatically log them in here. They will need to log in a second time. So that is the frustrating part. But in Lofty, if they are not logged into the system, you don't know what houses they're looking at. So you are not able to see, oh, hey, they're just looking on this street or they're just looking in this city. If you leave it wide open and they can click and click and click and click, it's great, but it doesn't give you the information to be able to help them. Jerry, what's up?
So if you run an ad through Street Text and they already put their information in there and then they get here and they're you wanting them to put it in again, they're going to get upset. So you can you turn this off?
And that's yeah. So with that one, that is going to, but now realize if you do that, you aren't going to know anything of what they're looking at. I mean, you could if you want to do that, you could change the number of listings. So if we go back to settings, I can say, hey, instead of 1, hey, I'm going to give you 5. You can change that number. Just be careful of how high you make that number because they've logged in, but they haven't really done much. And if you call them and they gave you a fake number, well, that's no good to you either. But yeah, and that's the thing. There's no right way to do real estate, but there's definitely a wrong way.
What I've done on that, Joe, because I'm running downsize ads, I go in and I sign them up for an account. And then I leave the account just to the zip code or whatever that they were in, or like what I do on the downsize, I pull up their house. And where if they're a seller hiding as a buyer, I put the zip code for their house just to get them started. But at that point, I've created the account to drive, take the horse to water, trying to make them drink.
But they're still not, you're not going to get any of that information unless they sign in. That's the part that frustrates me.
Yeah, so
And
we
I
won't,
would be,
we won't get any of their information, what they're looking at specifically in Lofty unless they sign in a second time, is what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Now, and there's ways to, I don't know with street text. I know with Facebook, you can actually have them using UTM codes. So if you go into Lofty's help, look up UTM codes, they'll tell you how you can give these tags directly to them without making them log on to this page. Because you will not get that tag information unless they log in. Um, and it's that's the problem that you run into with the Facebook leads or anywhere else. They could give you false information or they could give you old information.
Well, what I'm thinking, like first
Wendy.
for street text, what we do is run them over into just the link that drives them to this site to begin with. But because if they're in street text, we already know they're looking to downsize, so that helps narrow down part of the quest we're doing.
Right.
Well,
You can just
and
do
I'll
a
tell you
regular, yeah. You could just do a traffic ad going right to here, and then they don't have to give their information. It's just going right to here, and then they log in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that if you do the direct link rather than force the registration on the tag, that's one way to get it only one time. What I don't know and what I'd love to hear is, does Facebook demonetize or does it deprioritize you or make your leads more expensive if you're just pushing them to the site, that you're not doing the form? Hey, if I could just get them, hey, come take a look at all the single level homes. I'm not going to ask you for information on Facebook because your Facebook's also going to link to whatever Facebook knows your address. And mine's going to be Skaterboy2356 that I had in 1990 as my Gmail, and it's going to have my mom's phone number. I don't necessarily want that as the contact info. Wendy, did you have, because I've seen your site before, do you have any other questions or comments, concerns?
No, that was just, yeah, I just wanted to clear that up, that you could run a different kind of ad in street text. But no, this is great because I know that's something we really love in KV Core, right? Because we have squeeze pages and we can make it never register so that you don't have to ask for things twice. So anyway, and I know that's what Carrie loved about KV Core, and she's been wanting to know how to do it here. So this is awesome.
Yeah, the only problem I have with that is that, once again, you don't get any tracking data.
When you just said that, like, because if they have to register through here, I feel like if they have to type in their stuff, it's going to be more legit than the Facebook auto. So you may end up getting, I mean, you're not going to see it in street text as a lead coming through. You're going to be like, this isn't working, but you're going to see that it definitely sent it to, sent people to this site. So you're going to actually see them more in here than a lead in street text. So
You'll see high impressions with no conversion. Yep.
right.
Okay, Herb, you've got a question.
Yes. So my question is, when you're running ads, you're sending them to these landing pages? What's kind of like I'm just kind of interested in what your experience has been in terms of like how many clicks to how many registrations that you get on that.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And I mean, I'll just be honest. It's like, really, if I'm doing a good ad on Facebook, I don't do Google PPC, but on Facebook, I'm averaging somewhere usually between $7 to $10 a lead. And I'm still using Facebook forms because I'm slightly afraid if I say, hey, I just want to get content, push them here, they
okay.
won't.
So you're still using the
They
Facebook
won't
forms.
give me their. Yeah. I'm using Facebook forms there, and so I'm getting $7 to $10 a lead. But I do think it's important the type of content or the landing page you're sending them to. Like I've really heard that the downsizing homes are going to get you better conversion than a luxury home, or especially, I don't even touch sellers because I'm looking at buyers are probably sellers too. So if I can get them to register to look for their next house, I can ask the question. Oh, and actually, that's one thing too. You're able to, oh, you're not. I forgot. So that's what the one thing is in Lofty's landing pages, you can't two-step it. And what that means is that you can't have a second page that comes up and says, hey, do you own a home? Are you working with an agent? When are you looking to buy or sell? So you're not able to put that information in, which I wish you could, but you can put a lot of good stuff in.
So, so I know on ads that I have Facebook and then redirect them to this landing page here, I usually turn off the pop-up content and don't require them to register.
Yeah. And that's it's definitely a strategy. I just run into the problem of unless they log in, I don't know what they're doing. And I don't like that. I want to at least know that they've looked at one house. That'll give me some idea compared to that blank stuff. I mean, then you run into I've ran into situations where people have looked at 5 or 6 homes. They logged in with the fake information, but then they're like, "Hey, I'd like to go see it." And I'm like, "Well, I don't have your right information. Can you maybe hook me up with the right phone number or the right email address if I've got one or the other?"
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I know problems we have to work through.
Oh God. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like it's shocking how hard/easy. But hey, after and well, and I do also think it's important to make sure that we're capturing all the information and getting them logged in because after the 27th, is that right? Where all of our outbound text and calling becomes that much more important. I don't know if street text is doing that. Hey, you give me permission to call, text, email you. But even I'm starting to go, how do I go through my whole list of people who've said that they give me permission if I have them from like 6 years ago?
Mm-hmm. They're making it easy
Anything else?
for us. They're making it easy.
Buyer has to pay. Wait, no, seller can't pay buyer's agent. We have to collect all this information. When I think actually I've heard the new rule is when you do the initial outbound reach, you have to do a headstand when you're on the phone, and you actually can only do a headstand using one arm. So that's like one of those requirements. And yes, of course, I'm joking on that one, but yeah, it's definitely these rules of lawyers making a whole lot of money has definitely made it a little bit more challenging for us. Stop
They
sharing.
never lose. They're paid whether they win or not.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. No, hey
That's
Joe, I know.
right.
So you're not a street text guy yet?
No, I'm not. I'm very familiar about the program. I've never gone into that.
Like I say, yet.
I, yeah, well, I mean,
Uh,
there's so much stuff. Now, I mean, I do open houses though. I am huge in open houses and I have smart plans that go off of open houses. I have a process of actually, hold on. I'm going to do one more share. If I have do I have a minute, Carrie?
Yep. You got just a couple minutes.
Okay. So I will tell you this. When someone checks into my open houses, and we have a great app that can check them in straight from Lofty, I send them this page, open house resource, buyer and sellers. This here will tell them the information on the house that they just saw. And then I also have flip books. Tell me what my house is worth, a little bit about me. And I mean, it also then shoots them emails that go out. And this is like the single page landing page. This is an open house I did 2 weeks ago. It'll have a great page for people to see everything that's going on. This one, I changed some of this information so it works a little bit better. But you can do so much with open house to differentiate yourself from the competition. And then if they want to look at single family homes, now this isn't a landing, that page is a landing page, but this comes straight back to the website too. So you can make squeeze page landing pages that are hidden, that aren't tracked by Google directly on the website. So if you want to be following your normal protocols for, hey, I'm not doing any kind of pop-ups, or I want them to be able to see 3 houses before it triggers the pop-up, you can do that. Yeah. Lofty is really cool with how much it can do, but it can do so much more than everyone gives it credit for.
Right. That's
You
why,
just have to
again,
think outside.
January full of Joe with Lofty. I'm committing
Hey,
you.
just,
Don't worry, Joe.
you know what? I'll give you my Venmo code and you just have to pay for a cup of coffee for every person who's in the group. And hey, I'm good. I'm good. Just 1 cup of coffee. I'm not asking for a lot.
Perfect.
Okay,
Does anyone
anything
have
else?
any questions before we log off? I know Herb's call is going to start soon.
I like
Nobody?
that coffee with Joe for January.
Yeah. All about Lofty, everybody.
Or having a Joe
There
with
you go.
Joe.
Yep. Absolutely.
Jokes with Joe.
Yes. Well, thank you everyone for coming. I will post the recording later and I will see you guys next year.
Perfect.
Bye guys. Thank you, Joe.
Uh-huh.